and sit down. It's pretty good. I heard some of you. I saw some of you smile. This is good. Let's keep it going. So how many of you know that the Hatzi Kaddish is actually about praise? It's about praising God. So we're going to read a little bit of it in English before the choir leads us in singing or chanting the Hatzi Kaddish in Hebrew. So turn to page 26. So we'll read the first paragraph. And let's read it together in English. Ready? Exalted and hallowed be God's great name in the world which God created according to plan. May God's majesty be revealed in the days of our lifetime and the life of all Israel, speedily, imminently, to which we say, Amen. I guess maybe let's read the last paragraph too, because then you see all the praise. Blessed, praised, honored, exalted, extolled, glorified, adored, and lauded be the name of the Holy Blessed One, beyond all earthly words and songs of blessing, praise, and comfort, to which we say, Amen. We continue the praise on page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly, or hopefully not always too quietly, on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? And then we continue on page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. את אדוני אלוהיך בכל עבודתך בחומתך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצוותך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשיתך וביתך ובלתך ובקמך ושרתך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו הפסקיתם את כל מצוותי, ליתם לושים עליכם, השמי אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. In these next prayers, we affirm the truth of God. So I'm going to sing the first part in Hebrew, and then we're going to, at the top of page 38, and then we're going to read on to page 39. Emet v'emunah kol sot, emet v'emunah kol sot, emet v'emunah, emet v'emunah, emet v'emunah kol sot. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get here from there, just by joining hands and marching together. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Then we go to page 42, Hashkivenu.
Ashni
Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Now we go to page 44 for the Vishamru.
This is a bit interactive. Every time we have a choir here, I like to see if you guys can do a little competition. So if we get to the verses, it's going to be this side of the room versus that side of the room. And the dividing point is going to be right between the two. Right between those two, yeah. So we'll see who's louder. Here we go.
The opening tefillah, or prayer, on page 46 is Adonai Sephotai, and the choir is going to sing it, but it's really a meditation. It's a meditation to prepare us to speak directly to God, which is really what the Amida is. It's a standing prayer, and it's when we're supposed to be at that point in the service. We've thanked God, we've praised God, now we're going to feel like we can speak to God directly. So after the meditation, please continue to read either pages through up to pages 62, 63, or speak from your heart. When you're done, you can sit down, or you can see if the person next to you is done. If they're not done, feel free to stay standing until they are done so that they don't feel self-conscious, and then sit down with them. Okay, so that's something I'm going to ask you to try a little bit today. So it's a standing prayer, so if everyone wants to get up if you can, if you're able, if you're not able, please don't feel obligated. And there we go. There's people in our community who are hurting both in body and spirit. So we're going to read the Mishaberach list. Charlotte Aberman, Uri Ben Ahuva, Michal Altman, Larry Benson, Hannah Bloom, Tanya Boudreau, Scott Burrows, Byron Andre Castillo, Gael Castillo, Paul Chappelle, Hank Edelman, Ralph Friedman, Joan Goldberg, Harriet Hochberg, Paige Holt, Oliver Horn, Barbara Houston, John Houston, Harry Katz, Larry Kessler, Alan Knepper, Ashley Levine, Reese Osmond, Barbara Piermont, Stuart Ravid, Eileen Reinfleisch, Meredith Kurland Ross, Scott Sains, Amelia Santos, Esther Batsara, Chuck Schwartz, Gunnar Shields, Flora Simpson, Cliff Weinstein, Lisa Wolper, Nicole Woodstock, Hanoch Yafet. Someone to add? Anyone else? I'm sorry, I'm not reading the list for the people at home. So if you're at home watching this, I apologize. I just couldn't manage both things at once. So we also say prayers at the same time for those members of our family who are serving in the IDF, protecting the land of Israel and the people of Israel. Stuart and Barbara Ravid's extended family, Amin Adov Bloom, Abutar Bloom, excuse me for pronunciation errors, Jonathan Deutsch's family, Netzak Colton, for Linda Carlton, Benjamin Carlton, for Cantor, her relatives Roi Avisera, Liam Amrami, Eden Amrami, and for Jason and Samantha, their cousin Adi Feinberg. For the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av, it's always the same parsha, which is Devarim, which means words, right? Devar, words. But a lot of times you hear it described as Deuteronomy. This book is a series of Moses' final words to us, and in essence, a repetition and interpretation of the important themes of the Torah. The one God, the loyalty we owe this God, the nature of this relationship, the importance of living this relationship out, the benefits of doing so, which are Israel, and the punishment, diaspora or exile, we will experience if we do not. In today's Parsha, we relive our Exodus journey and we hear the first plea from Moses to be able to enter the promised land, Israel. This Parsha recounts a really big story that's worthy of a movie. We relive over and over again the many steps that we fail. We relive the steps we took on our journey, and that we're told again and again that we fail if we do not do what God tells us, and that we succeed if we have faith and do what God tells us to do. We hear about land that is not for us, that is but for other people, and which land we are entitled to. As some of the tribes do not want to live in the promised land, they are assigned to other lands, but told that they cannot possess them until Israel is won. There's a shared responsibility to achieve Israel. And how does it close? On a very personal note, a raw, heartfelt, impassioned plea. I pleaded, I, Moses, the man tapped to do a big job, the man who received the Torah and was the intermediary between God and the people Israel, who shared the Torah with the people. Moses pleaded to be allowed to enter the land and see it. He was not asking to live there. He was not asking to keep being our leader, just to enter and see it. By it being shared with us, at getting this glimpse of Moses as a person, as a man with so much emotion. And I'm struck by the bitterness he expresses at being denied his request. He says at the closing of the passage, "But the Lord was wrathful for me on your account and would not listen to me." This gets amplified in next week's Parsha, but this week, after hearing this grand history, we are left only with anguish and pain. I'm not sure that this is an accident. This is the final Shabbat before Tisha B'Av, the observance of the destruction of the two temples, and the forced diaspora of much of the people of Israel. Over time, the rabbis have attributed to this day many more tragedies that took place throughout history, over and over again. My most impactful observance of Tisha B'Av was the summer I studied in Israel. I spent that summer studying at the conservative yeshiva and going to Ulpan. In the morning, Erev Tisha B'Av, I'd gone to the Israel Museum in Jerusalem, where they had this really huge, almost as big as this room, to scale model of Jerusalem as it was at the time of the Second Temple. It was outside, you could walk around it, you could press a little button, it would light up and tell you what it was. You really got this sense of what the city looked like from all these different perspectives. And it was so realistic, I felt that I might really have an understanding of what it looked like at that time just before the final revolt with Rome. And if I close my eyes, I can still see it. I can still see that Jerusalem as it was all those many years ago. But from that, a group of us met up at the yeshiva, and we set out on a hike, a hot hike, approaching the Temple Mount, walking the paths that Jews would have walked to approach the temple to make pilgrimage, to bring sacrifices, and to observe the different holidays. We had a guide who stopped with us on the way to point out the various pilgrimage stops that the pilgrims would have stopped at and what the importance of them were. We made our way up the steps through the archaeological garden or Davidson Center, which you can all go to, where we walked the paths or streets of our ancestors, to the ones that they themselves would have walked to get to the stalls to buy their sacrifices. If you're coming from a long distance, you're not carrying a dove with you, you're not bringing a goat, you're not bringing a chicken, you're going to go with money of that time and you're going to buy it at the temple. And so we made our way there, and we then went on to what is the egalitarian section of the Kotel. This was before they had built the temporary platform that's there now. the many years of temporary platform, and we could sit on the rocks that had fallen or been pushed off from the kotel, the wall, the retaining wall that allowed Herod to build a much bigger temple. And we could sit there in the remains of the stalls, all near this wall, right? And then when dark came, we lit candles. People put up flashlights and had them shining up, cell phones, different things, and people started chanting lamentations. And they echoed amongst the rocks. So can you imagine? Close your eyes just for a second and try to imagine this. In my mind, I had imprinted in my memory now this image of what Jerusalem looked like, what the temple looked like, what the roads were, where they, where we could go to walk them. I had walked those very same paths where our people before us walked. The rocks were worn. It was hot. It was probably hot for them at many times of the year. And flashes of the past really mixed with the present. I sat amongst those ruins. Maybe this is where the doves were sold. Maybe this is where the chickens or the goats were. I heard the haunting cries of our anguish and pain, and I could feel that pain of all that was lost. I understood what was lost. I had a much better understanding of what it was, and I felt that I could join in that pain. I see parallels to this passion and bitterness when I look at what is happening just miles away at Delaney Hall. Pregnant women not getting medical care, children's education disrupted, children separated from their families, unclean water, inadequate food. No matter what we think about the state of immigration in this country, and I know we have many opinions, I'm not sure that we can turn away from this pain and suffering and still maintain our own humanity. TBO members will be joining with others to observe Tisha B'Av and chant lamentations, those same lamentations that people around the world will be chanting on Tisha B'Av outside, so we'll be able to do that outside this hall of suffering. Please see your highlights where you can RSVP, get more information. You can talk to Judy after services. Tanya, are you going as well? You're not going to make it, but you know about it, so you can talk to Tanya as well. So let them know if you're interested in joining. Here in the United States, we celebrated 250 years of our independence and democracy. I went to hear a reading of the Declaration of Independence. You can hear echoes of that declaration and of our this other declaration and of our history as a people in the one that Israel is formed. The state of Israel will foster the development of the country for the benefit of all its inhabitants. It will be based on freedom, justice, and peace as envisioned by the prophets of Israel. It will ensure complete equality of social and political rights to all its inhabitants, irrespective of religion, race, or sex. It will guarantee freedom of religion, conscience, language, education, and culture. While our fellow Reformed Jews in Israel are not pleading to God, as Moses did in our Parsha, to be allowed into the land, they are pleading before the courts. They're demonstrating, they're fighting, they're organizing, arguing, making their case to the public, the government, the courts, for equal treatment and the full religious freedom and freedom of conscience as promised in the Israeli Declaration of Independence. When I make Aliyah, I hope to join that fight. As former President Peres said, guided by a love of Israel, we persevere on. This parsha reminds us that Israel is our homeland, our promised land, whether we decide to live there or not. And just as the warriors who are not going to settle in the land, even if we are not going to live there, we have a responsibility to see Israel established and live up to its ideals. That is part of why we are an Artza congregation and give you the opportunity to support Israeli democracy by joining Artza, the Association of Reform Zionists of America, when you make your annual pledge. If you have questions about Artsa, feel free to speak with me, Abby, after services, and we'll help you. And if you've already made your pledge and you didn't sign up for Artsa, we can help you sign up later. The movement in Israel counts on our support to grow the movement so they can fulfill the vision and ideals of the Declaration in allowing religious freedom and equality for all in Israel. Moses was barred from the Promised Land. He pleaded with God, but as we saw in today's Parsha, he was disappointed and bitter. We are in the Promised Land, but the vision Israel was founded on, of religious freedom and justice, has so far been denied to us. We must do more than plead. We must win. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to do announcements later, just so you know. I'm going to do announcements a little later. So please rise for page 282 at the bottom. I'm going to continue with the Elenu by reading in English on page 285. Feel free to join me. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all, created in your image, become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. 287. You can sit down for a moment, get a moment of rest. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. I want to extend our condolences, our deepest condolences, to Howard and Abby Blaustein and their family on the passing of Abby's mother, Carol B. Levine. Her middle name was Barbara. We also recognize and give kavod and love to those still in the period of Shloshim. Martha Deutsch, for Heidi Peterson, and for Jan Wieland. If you're observing a yard site, when I call their name, if you could rise. We are observing today the yard sites of George Ansell, Gregory P. Argand, B. Mark Cohen, Ada Dannenberg, Adolf Fischer, Jack Fleischer, Judith Hanowitz, Eva Hess, Jerry Hodges, Lillian Katzman, Gloria Lowenthal, P. Louis Nierenberg, Catherine Podolsky, Mary Rabinowitz, Hannah Batlaser Rubel, Yitzhak Ben Menashe Rubel, Harry Schlager, Lila Schote, Beatrice Schulman, Harry Sharp, my grandfather, Robert Sherman, Pearl Silverstein, Victoria Stein, Anita Taradash, Sarah Wachtel, Albert M. Weiss, Dora Weisbach, Nathan Weissman. Is there anyone whose name I've not mentioned that you want to add as I go around the room? Feel free to rise if you're able. Okay. Did I not? Okay. Any more? Do you want to rise? Okay. Okay. So if we can all rise and join them in saying Kaddish on page 294. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, b'yalma divra kirutei v'yamich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei de kol bit Yisrael, ba'gala v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam yomei omaya. Yit barak v'yishtabak v'yitba'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitalel, Vitalal, Shmei Kudisha, Brechu, Le'ela Minkol Berchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechamata, Damiran V'Yalma V'Imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'Chaim Aleinu Ve'akol Israel, V'Imru, Amen. Osei Shalom, Huyasei Shalom, Aleinu V'Imru, Amen. You can be seated. May you be comforted amongst all the mourners of Israel. And then the choir is going to sing Adon Ali on page 321. Jason to come up and lead us. While he's doing that, if the kids want to come for when we do the mosaic, all families with kids, get ready to come up.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila b'mikraye kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchatanu, baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
So I'm going to do announcements now while we get people, the kids to come up. So while I'm doing announcement, all the families with kids start coming up. So we'll be ready. So we hope you're planning to join us after services in the social hall for our summer Shabbat dinner. Tonight's meal is a taco bar, and we want to thank Brian and Jennifer Dicker for preparing it. They've been cooking for days. So this Tuesday, July 21st at 6:30 p.m., we will be hosting One Happy Camper and PJ Library's Challenge and Chill pop-up. So the event will feature ice cream sundaes, a ninja course, and information about summer camp. It's open to families with children ages 5 to 12, and their siblings are welcome. Please RSVP. Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m., there will be a Tisha B'Av observance at Delaney Hall, as I mentioned, in Newark. This event is being co-sponsored by us and several other area synagogues. Next Friday, and I know that's a long ways away, but I want you to start thinking about this now. Next Friday, July 24th, is Perspective Member Shabbat. We're going to open with a tour for people who might want to check us out. And so 5:30 is the optional tour. Feel free to bring someone that you know is looking for their next temple home, or should be looking for their next temple home, or you want them to be looking for their next temple home, and you want them to be here with you. And we'll be serving Israeli food. And just a reminder that we still have Knesset going on all summer long. There's an app to organize it. If you're not on the app, let us know. We'll help you get on it so that you can join for these fun games and stay cool. And finally, a little service announcement. Please make sure to return your prayer books to the cart behind you after services. If possible, put them back nicely. Put them up so they're standing up. Don't flop them over. Don't shove it in. Don't put it in upside down or backwards, because we want these books to last. So please be kind to the prayer books. Okay? So, Motzi, ready?